opportunities here throughout 4 minutes into the contest, so just the first few minutes. Apologies for that. Nil-nil the score. Nick Morton had a shot for South, which went just wide of the post at one end. Kingborough with that latest chance is just as close as they have come. So, it's almost 5 minutes here at KG5. Of course, the game now at KG5. Darcy Street being underwater. Closed by the council, so this game across the overall football. Now it's working. Alrighty. Hopefully this is coming through loud and clear. Right, it is so. It is 0-0 the score here. We've gone about 5 minutes of game time, 5:52 in fact, at KG5. This game moved from Darcy Street after the ground was closed by the council, completely underwater. It's been a wet and wild day down in the south of the state, but the game has been shifted across here to KG5 and we're underway. 0-0 the score. Both teams have had one chance each. Pretty even affair so far. And I'll run through the starting lineups for you here this afternoon. In goal for South Hobart, they've got Nathan Reid taking over from Mark Moncourt. Number 5, Patrick Kibler. Number 6, Ewan Larby. Number 7, Sam Berezanski. In midfield, number 8, Kobe Kemp. And number 9, Bradley Lakaseljak. Number 10, Nick Morton, is a sweeping ball over the top, plays in Casper Hallam. He returns to the starting lineup this afternoon. 3 goals in his first 3 games this season before he missed last week due to injury. South will be delighted to have him back out on the park. The rest of the South team, number 18, Samuel Toos, number 15, Declan Foley, who's parked himself at the back, along with number 19, Tobias Vinen. Kingborough Lions I'll go through after this attacking play. Number 1, Lee Mackey, will be in net. There's Vinen back to Lakaseljak, away by Phil Kantos. Now Kenneth Track shipping it over the top, so it'll give us a chance to go through the Lions line-up. In defence, number 3, Luke Biggin. Number 4, Joel Samet at left back. Number 6, Simon Vivarelli. Number 7, Danny Cohen. And then you've got number 8, Kenneth Track. Number 10, the set-piece master, Chris Downs. Number 13, arguably the best fullback in the competition over the last 18 months in Keenan Dowse. Number 14, Adam McEwen. Number 15, the American import, Davis Bryan. And number 17, Phil Kantos. And starting 11s for you this afternoon is Cody Kemp, pursued here by Kantos. As the Lions, well, before yesterday's results, they found themselves sitting second on the NPL Tasmania table. And they'll be looking to move back into second today with a result. 3rd versus 4th. The table currently stands. Berezanski back to Kibler, being partnered in defence by Declan Foley today. Here's Kobe Kemp, the deepest of the South Hobart midfield 3 so far. He shifts this one across to Larby. Impressive young left back, Samuel Toos. Done a pretty good job leading the line. Short in stature, but very flight of feet. This is Casper Hallam and Nick Morton charging down at Mackey here. It's a pretty mobile attack South Hobart have at their disposal. It's Kibler in towards Toos, but that one's broken up. Now Kantos. He get around Foley, but he's swept up in the back by Vinen. Poor pass, gave it straight to Vivarelli. Vivarelli takes back over. I think McEwen was offside here. The flag stayed down, it mattered not. The ball never really gave him a play on it. Adams, Sunday McEwen, has been in fantastic form since moving across. Found himself unwanted, the Clarence Zebras. Was out of their starting 11 plans. But Kingborough, they said, no, come down to the den, lead the line, we'll give you a start. And he has rewarded that with goals. 3 already in his last few appearances. And has been a very handy contributor. So Havainen to Lakaseldia. Couldn't find twos, but he'll get another crack at it. Showed a bit too much of it to Chris Downs. Had a stint at South Hobart several years back now as Kenneth Track. He's a dangerous player for University in the Championship and has shown why he was highly sought after by the NPL clubs so far for Kingborough. Lively attacking threat. Morton charged down by Vivarelli. That one will be South Hobart throw in. So Kemp will draw the free kick there. Here's Nick Morton. Down the line for Berezanski. Ran into a whole host of Lions players, but South keep hold of the ball through Nick Morton. And Morton just tries to finesse one from distance. He's never going to have enough power to seriously trouble Mackie from there. Need to put his laces through it a bit more. And Mackie now with the drop kick. Always love to see that from the keeper. Kobe Kemp wearing the captain's armband for South today. And doing plenty of that grunt work in midfield. So here is Foley. Strong presence at the back for South. And bring the real physical edge to the team. Nathan Reid. Oh, it's a poor distribution straight to Chris Downs, who tries to catch him out immediately. Might have just rushed the shot a little there, Downs. Had a little bit more time than perhaps he thought. That's Reid not punished for his error there. So long down the line, away by Kibler. Now Larby sliding it through, looking for the run of twos. Danny Cohen will marshal him back there though. He's turning and twisting his twos. Taken away from him, and Chris Downs the outlet for the Lions. Here's McEwen. Brian coughed it straight up to his opposite number there. So here's the Morton Morton now. Chips it through, but again, poorly aimed pass, and South just lacking the usual crispness in the passing game so far. Not quite able to spring their attackers. Reasonably open game thus far as Mackie swings it across to Track. Track again just ifting the ball back to the opposition. It's been a sloppy start from both sides really. Here's Lakaseljak. Casper Hallam looking to take on Joel Samet. Samet won that duel though. And Cohen gives it back to Lakaseljak. Bulldog Morton turns and chips it towards twos. Heady first touch. Kobe Kemp looking to just chip one over the top. Away Well low by Luke Biggin, partnering Danny Cohen back there today. Kibler, cleverly keeping it in play. Foley. Lost to Toby Havainen. South patiently moving it around the back here. So the Morthog turns and sends it through. Of note on the substitute bench, didn't give you the subs when going through the teams earlier, Gilly de Souza back in the South Hobart lineup. Has played for both of these clubs. Initially signed up now at the Den before South Hobart lured him across. The talented Brazilian midfielder had a stint up on the Gold Coast last year, but has been brought back to South Hobart. So a handy little import there on the bench today, Gilly de Souza. And he will add plenty given the opportunity. Strong challenge there, and the ball ricocheting out of play. South Hobart 2 wins and 2 losses so far. Lost their last 2 after winning their opening 2 games. Going down to the current top 2 in the competition in Knights and Devonport. So still into this one as favourites, even though they are behind the Kingborough Lions, who have 3 wins and a draw from their opening 4. A very credible victory over the Knights, 2-0. That result looking better and better. Knights falling to the Lions in week 1, haven't dropped any points since. Oh, lovely little dummy from Laka Seljak. That was clever. Berezanski onto it. He turns onto the right. Well done, Keenan Dowse. Just held him up. Another chance though. Danny Cohen blocks the shot away with his head. Dowse did well. Just hold up Berezanski as he looked to fly him behind. Here's Havainen, another former South Hobart player. Former Lion player playing for South. Sorry, a few in this this game have played for the respective side. Keenan Dowse, now the Lions, came from South. Chris Downs. Here's Laka Seljak. Good firm challenge up against Vivarelli. Both players going in hard for the ball. There's Kibler. Out to Toby Havainen. Kibler. Out the back. Foley allowed to carry it, and he pulls the trigger and sends it long. Just holds up in that breeze. And that's lazy, unfortunately, that from Toby Havainen. Really shouldn't be getting caught offside there. Just sneaking in behind the defence. No real need from the fullback. No advantage gained by being in that position anyway. So after waiting a while to pull the trigger, at least nothing. And both sides just struggling to create here in the opening quarter of an hour. And Track makes something happen. Havainen gets the ball caught between his legs. Track has 2 to beat. And he gets a throw in. Kansos. Slow down. Samet with the throw. Looking for Track, but away by Foley. Oh, Falcon from all of a yard away there on 2s. Bounced back pretty well though, showed no ill effects. As Reed will come across and sweep this one up. Back to Foley. Now it's Kibler. by Larby, Berezanski, back to Larby, the youngsters combining, but broken up by Biggin. So 20 minutes tick by, 0-0 the score, and neither team really looking particularly threatening. It's been a fairly ugly spectacle thus far, to go with the weather, which has forced this one from Darcy Street, 2KG5. If you're tuning in and wondering what's going on there, the ground underwater and closed by the council, so the late shift across to the all-weather pitch has been made. Joel Samet with the throw here. Into the box for the American Davis Bryan. Kemp slid in, fell to Downs, just tried to lob one through for McEwen to run onto, we got way too much of it. So here's Foley. Kibler. Drops it in for Kobe Kemp. The Lions quite content just to sit off, not pressing the centre half as they look to play out, just collapsing back into their own half, and then the defence still playing a reasonably high line. There's not much room between that midfield line and defensive line for the Lions. And a bit of a 4-4-2 structure with Kantos and McEwen leading the line. Downs and Track, the wide men. Vivarelli and Bryan in the middle. South for now. Struggling to find a way to play through it, but this one's again broken up by Biggin. It's been a game really devoid of chances thus far. Morton punches that one through. Straight to Lee Mackey. He's not been tested yet. Smashes this one along. If there is a wind advantage, you'd say it's favouring the Lions in this half. Here's Hallam. Have a little flick looking for Morton, but Keenan Dowse handling the situation well. It's surely in the back of McEwen there. Made the most of it, but pretty clear contact on Sunday. So set piece opportunity for Chris Downs from long range, but he's always a threat. He swings this one in. Danny Cohen rose highest, but was well over his head. And still, the wait continues for a meaningful chance in this one. I think Morton's second minute shot where he pulled it past the post from about 25 yards out. About as close as we've come. The American Kibler. Line into Kemp. Kemp swinging over the top, looking for the run of Hallam. You can imagine that'll be a popular tactic. Trying to play those long balls in behind to the speedy Casper Hallam. It's been the undoing multiple sides already this season. Here's Chris Downs. Up against Larby. Swings back in for Kantos. Kantos chipping. Clever run made by Kenneth Track, but the ball just skids off the wet pitch. And behind for a goal kick. No harm done there. So it really picked up speed once it hit the pitch. The rain holding off for now, but I'd be surprised if that was a factor as this game wore on. So Foley smashes that one long, looking for Hallam, but really poor ball, and the standard of passing has not been great from either side so far today. And Kenneth Track makes something happen. He's absolutely surrounded. Was looking to win the throw, couldn't do so. Morton back to Foley. South Hobart love to be able to pass their way through here, but the Lions are very tough nut to crack, and they can be very, very difficult when they get their structure in place. Samuel Tews now. Again, it's just a pass back to the centre half, and then see if something else can develop. Cowan led Berezanski to the ball and fell out behind. Danny Cowan gets himself into a bit of trouble here, Cowan, but he's able to clear the area. And 21 clashes between these two teams in the NPL Tasmania. Kingborough Lions have never managed to beat South Hobart. This one's chipped over the top, looking for the runner Morton. Mackie off his line though. In 21 games, it's been 18 wins to South and 3 draws. So it's been very, very one-sided, this matchup in the NPL and Victory League history, that is. And you have to say this match here today perhaps represents as good a chance as the Lions have ever had. They're certainly playing some good football at the moment. So that's a terrible ball. Chris Downs, he spies the keeper off his line here and tries to lob him. And finds the roof of the net. Wasn't a bad effort. He had Reed scrambling backwards nervously, but just couldn't quite get it to drop. The ball really at the feet of the perfect man for that situation in Chris Downs. If anyone can lob the keeper from 40 yards out, it would be Downs. He's already done so to Lockie Hart in their game against the Knights earlier this season from a free kick from miles out. Good Foley. You can see the Cody Kemp and the centre backs are both just looking in Casper Hallam's direction. Every time they get the ball, every time it's played to them, they have a look to that corner, see if there's room for Hallam, and then they're looking to play that long diagonal. It hasn't come to fruition yet, and it's going to be tough with the wind blowing the way it is, but it seems to be a real focus of South Hobart's, trying to isolate that Hallam versus Samet matchup and try and use Hallam's pace to get him behind. Patiently waiting to pull the trigger and then playing that ball. Unfortunately for Hallam, the service he's received has not been particularly good so far. He gets the ball now though, Hallam. And he stands that one up into the wind, and you see it hits that wall and comes down on the head of Dowse. Downs pokes it forward. Back now to Cody Kemp. The Morthog Morton. And Toby Havine. Spying a run. It's a clever little ball looking for Berezanski, but again the Lions defence slams the door shut. Kemp intercepting. Morton. Lakaseljak. Now Casper Hallam. They look to have a run at Samet here. Samet defending his flank well. Back to Morton. Locked away. Hallam to Morton. Squares it up to Kemp. He's got some room here, Cody Kemp. Shifts it back across to Lavi. And chips it to the back post looking for Tews over his head. And steered behind by Samet for the corner. Berezanski on the corner, over Morton's head. Eluded everyone and fell out the back where Kenneth Track leads out the counter-attack. McEwen's offside here, it won't matter. As Larby won it back for South anyway. Now he looks to turn defence into attack. Chipped it for Berezanski out of fresh air swing. And just not quite clicking at the moment. Someone rolls out of play for the throw in. Keenan Dowse couldn't get it over the head of Kemp, who's breaking up absolutely everything, just sitting in front of the back four at the moment, but hasn't quite found his passing range as of yet. Foley. Quite content to shift it from side to side at the back. South Hobart. Here is Foley. Now Kemp. Very patient stuff. Trying to find a way through this Lions defensive structure. Casper Hallam has switched flanks. He's going to have a run at Keenan Dowse now and almost picks the pocket of Dowse, but coming out on top was the Lions skipper. Switching ball looking for Track. Won't be able to track that one down. Did he win the throw for his side there? He did. Well done, Kenneth Track. Drawing encouragement from his coach, Jez Kemp, down there on the sidelines. The Jez Assault's very much underway at the Lions. Since taking over the job midway through last season, he's done a really good job trying to unlock the potential of this sleeping giant of the club. And they've teased for so long. Perhaps finally ready to start competing up the top end of the table. Here's Keenan Dowse. He's not shy of a long-range shot, but he rolls this one through, looking for Downs. Can he get there in time? He does, and Kibler stretching to put it behind for a corner. And the Lions with a set-piece opportunity here. So I'm a little bit surprised that Downs isn't racing over to take himself. Looks like they're going to prefer the in-swinger off the left foot of Joel Samet. Nathan Reid, fairly short stature for a goalkeeper, so perhaps the plan to swing it in here and get some big bodies around him. Vivarelli's parked himself right in front of the keeper. It's only Cohen, Davis Bryan also in there. So get ready for the in-swinger. Indeed, that's exactly what it is, to the back post. Just a bit too much on it, but tracked down by Biggin. Couldn't quite find Downs. And a handball call goes against a set-piece maestro on that occasion. Foley put under pressure by that back pass from Larby. He was equal to it. Twos. Flicked it straight to Dowse. Now this one sit for Berezanski. Working his way up the line, the American Davis Bryan getting right up in his grill there. Just letting his presence be felt. Berezanski. Oh, well done there by the American. Robbed him of it. He in turn lost it to Lakaseljak though. Bradley Lakaseljak, lovely pass, looking for Morton. Couldn't quite bring it under his spell. And immediately the Lions look to counter through Track. Has a look up. We'll see a lot of options, but would have thought he might have found a better one than what he opted for in the end. Just gifting the ball back. Neither team has really been able to maintain possession when building attacks. South have definitely had more of the ball, though a lot of it in fairly non-threatening areas, knocking it around the back half. As Morton scraps with Cowan here, and Morton gets the better of Cowan. He's into the box and crossing. He'll get another bite out of Morton. Spills out. Lakaseljak first to it. Twos. Now Larby. Some sharp stuff from Morton, almost unlocking this tight Lions defence there. Foley across to Havinen. And Kemp. Through the legs of Hallam. Gathered by Lee Mackey. Foot done by Katzos. Hallam just chips into the space and backs his leg speed to get there first. Always looking to take the game on is Casper Hallam. He turns back inside, swings it for Mawson, who just couldn't control the volley. A sharp chance that couldn't keep his effort down, the Morton. It's Casper Hallam forging the chance there. He's looked the most lively, the most likely to make something happen, but ultimately coming to nothing there. Tough one on the non-preferred for Morton, but he has the quality to put it away, and probably the best chance of the opening 36 minutes here. Game really devoid of chances at either end. There's Mackey. Launches it in the Lacus, Iljak and Bryan direction. Off the South player's head for a Lions throw-in. Downs chipping it forward. Now over the top for Samuel Twos. Twos up against Danny Cowan. The Lions defence racing to get back in position. Twos slid in behind Berezanski. Wasn't expecting that. And again the attack dies, and Sunday McEwen gives a pretty good short option, and it's sent straight over his head. He's furious with it, but the attack will continue through Kenneth Track. Shifts inside onto the right. It's Track bending it. Stretching to repel was Kibler. His compatriot in the Lions midfield worked it across to Samet. And again, it's a poor ball straight to the keeper. The Morthog Morton, broken up by Samet. The Track somehow kept that in. The Lions won't press up on Foley for now though. Lobbed for Viner and Hallam getting in each other's way a little there. That's a poor ball from Cowan, straight to Lacus-Seljak. Twos. Lacus-Seljak, Havinen, still young, one of the more experienced members of this South team. That was a clever ball for Hallam. He's got goal side of Cowan. He cuts it back for Twos. It's Samuel Twos. It's really well defended by Dowse. Coming across to cover the fullback. Danger not averted. Here's Nick Morton. Chipping it unmarked at the back post. I thought the flag was going to go up, but no, play continues. Twos. Dwelling on the ball, drops it back. Larvey. And easy pickings for Lee Mackey, but some brighter signs there for South for the first time. Starting to combine a little better in the final third. Kansas shredding on the ball a little. Foley. There's Reed across to Kemp. More tempo about South game just in the last few minutes. Seem to be upping the urgency a little. 0-0 the score as we tick towards half time here. KG 5. Sobi Devine and Samuel Twos. 4 Lions players surrounding the youngster though. Downs stretches, worked at the Kansas. Sharp there, can he spring someone in behind here? It's a dangerous looking ball, but a little too central. Again, easily picked up by the South Hobart defence. Morton with a raking ball for Berezanski. Foley and Provine. Morton, Berezanski. Shipping over the top. Kobe Kemp's made a surging run forward. Douse getting back for the Lions. And it's going to be a goal kick. Brendan Copperis with a few words for Keane and Douse there. Coming together with Kemp, who was looking for the free kick. Nothing doing there. Kemp just working Brian under the ball. Downs tried to lob it over Foley, who blocked that off. Berezanski lunging challenge there from Brian has pulled up. South take it quickly and absolutely butcher it, which has been the story of the first half, really. Here's Morton. Berezanski. Hallam, one-on-one with Samet here. It's Casper Hallam, chips it in front of him, but he didn't have that much room to manoeuvre in. Gathered by Mackie. Love the confidence of Hallam, looking to take on the defender at every opportunity, but just didn't quite have enough room to pull that manoeuvre there. Larby trying to get in behind Keane and Douse. He's continuing to defend his flank exceptionally well. Ryan and Kibler, the two Americans battling there. Kingborough throw in. As we tick towards half time, still scoreless here at KG5. Long throw into the box. Repelled by Kobe Kemp. And South hit them on the break here. Morton, he spies Hallam in space and he carries. They look to finish off with Hallam, I think. Here is Morton combining well. Can he get there? He does. He chips it over the keeper and Nick Morton opens the scoring with a scintillating counter-attack. Beautiful stuff from South Hobart. The Warthog Morton charges forward and then deftly lobbing Lee Mackey with a superb finish. And South Hobart, who've been knocking on the door for the last 10 minutes, get the breakthrough at KG5. Lovely little counter-attack there. And the Lions just couldn't quite match the pace. Thought he might have gone to Hallam, who was tearing off on the opposite flank for a moment. No need in the end. As Nick Morton does the damage. A wonderful goal there for South Hobart's number 10. So can the Lions hit back before the break here? Not with passing like that, they won't. Kibler, Salabi. Larby for Berezanski. Oh, South are in again. Here's Berezanski. Can he cut it back? He chips it in. And Berezanski has found the back of the net. It's deflected home here. It's his chipped effort. The defender's slid in. It's bounced back off of Berezanski, I think. And it's lobbed terribly, unfortunately, Mackie. And the blink of an eye, South Hobart are going to head into the break with a 2-0 lead. It was looking like we were set for a scoreless first half. But one goal leads to another. And just like that, it's 2-0 South Hobart. And I think that will change both the managers' half-time team talks pretty significantly. As South double their lead here. So South Hobart 2-0 now the score. Larby. Back to Kibler. We saw Devonport yesterday in their game against the Clarence Zebras. Took them a long time to break them down, 82 minutes, and then within a minute it was 2-0. One goal can often lead to two. As Brian lobs it forward, looking for Kenneth Track. Sunday McEwen. Kemp skips free, then puts it through, and they are streaming forward against South Hobart. Will this stay in for Berezanski? It just does. Having a run here at Danny Cowan and turning inside. Berezanski chipping it. Held away, but Kobe Kemp with a lash from a long way out. Pretty powerful contact from Kemp, but just lacked the direction on that occasion. Wasn't too far away from a spectacular goal. The South Hobart are really running out this half very strongly. Took them a while to click into gear. And that pacey front three is really starting to cause the headaches for the Lions defence. And that is the half-time break. As Brenton Copper's whistle rings out around KG5. And Kingborough have been brought undone in the final moments of it. For 40 minutes they defended pretty well, looked pretty hard to break down. The South Hobart weren't having a lot of joy, but as yourself in the way, in the blink of an eye, it all changed. Nick Morton with a wonderful goal, and then Berezanski grabbing the second, and South Hobart will head into the sheds. 2 goals to the good. Kingborough and Jez Kent have got it all to do in the second 45. We'll be back in around about 15 minutes time with the second half action from KG5. Do stick around.
That's what it was before, yeah, okay, cool. Hold on.
Alrighty, and we are back for the second half, and a slightly wetter KG5 than it was before the break. Fair downpour during the halftime interval sent most in attendance here scurrying up to the stands. It was quite the sight to behold. Really quite nasty conditions out there, which have carried on into the second half. Fair bit of wind and rain about. Would seem to be at South Hobart's back, which will only make the Kingborough Lions task all the greater. They're chasing a 2-goal deficit. 2 goals in the last 5 minutes of the first half really flipped this game on its head. Berezanski and Morton hitting the back of the net, leaving Kingborough with it all to do as we kick off in this second half here. Can't see any changes that have been made, so I think we've got the same 11s out there. It's Casper Hallam looking to get in behind, and a little shirt tug notice there will be brought back. There's been one change because I can spy Jack and Gates on for Kingborough. Looks like he might have replaced Phil Kansos. Berezanski goes chasing after that. Won't be able to find it. So it looks like South Hobart unchanged and Kansos replaced by Gates for the Lions. See that one just standing up in the breeze. Kobe Kemp, lovely little ball out towards Casper Hallam. Hallam to Laka Seljak with the little flick. And in the end, amounted to nothing. And you can see by that corner flag down there just how strong the wind has got here during the halftime break. Ill-timed as far as the Lions are concerned. South Hobart will certainly take it. Going to be tough sledding for them in this second stanza. Mackie punches a low one. Difficult for Samet. He couldn't control it. Just gifting the ball back to South Hobart. Kemp, twos, Hallam. 2 to beat. And Danny Cowan coming across in defence. Reinvented himself as a centre-back in the last couple of years. Danny Cowan spent many years leading the line for this Lions team as a striker. He brought his physical edge to the Lions defence in recent times, partnering Luke Biggin for the bulk of this season. Biggin rather shanks that clearance and it spins backwards. Not much territory gained. Larby was looking for twos. Vivarelli was surely clipped. Foul blown. South Hobart wanting handball, but had been infringed beforehand. Brenton Cockerell, referee, gives a little bit back to the South Hobart players who were doling it out. Kemp has won a lot of headers here today. Casper Hallam, clever flick through to Samuel Twos. It's Samuel Twos in on goal to make it 3. He's ball tumbling and it crosses the line anyway. Oh, scrappy in the end. Well, they all count as we look at Twos. He raced in on goal, and in the end, it's going to be an own goal, I think. Maybe against Dowse or Samet. Doesn't really matter at the end of the day. It's 3-0 South Hobart. And an enormous hole now to climb out of as they sprung the pace of Twos in behind. It was calamitous at the back, trying to deal with it from the Lions. And South Hobart with a comfortable lead in this game now. So, Samet, Havainen seized on that. South Hobart They've lost 2 in a row. They look like they are very hungry for a big win here this afternoon. It's not too often this football club has lost back-to-back games, really, in just about the last decade. They've been pretty dominant. Fairly rare when they've entered the game coming off 2 losses. And this would be the response that Ken Morton would have been after from his side today. And despite the fact it was moved away from their home ground at Darcy Street, I reckon in many ways the shift to KG5 probably suits South Hobart a lot more than their home deck does. The plastic pitch, the bigger pitch, I think that makes it a bit harder for Kingborough to step back and shut the game down as they're so good at doing. I think they would have found that much easier on a pretty muddy old Darcy Street. Waterlogged pitch there would have made it pretty tough for South Hobart. So I think that's why they were quite happy to shift this one across here. There's Kibler into the middle for Kemp. Looking for Berezanski. And he's come back from an offside position there as Berezanski. So after much consternation on the sidelines, we'll get back under play as Downs goes back to Mackie. Drives it long, looking for Downs. Larby with the header, fresh area there from Morton. Cleared away at the second time of asking. It's a Kingborough team that's really built for hauling down multi-goal leads. Hard to see them scoring 3 to get back in this one. If they can just find one, it might give them something to cling to. So this one's lobbed over the top towards probably their most likely source of goals in Sunday McEwen there. Their leading scorer for the year, and a savvy veteran knows how to find the back of the net. Very wily customer leading the lines. South Hobart's defence has looked pretty untroubled for much of this contest, and Twos just used the body, I thought, really well, but just a little too much leaning in on Luke Biggin in the eyes of Brenton Copper. And he said, no, you worked him out of that one illegally. So free kick opportunity for Keenan Dowse. Punches this one down the line for Chris Downs. Brought it down, but Berezanski was back in support. Cohen away, and seized upon by Laka Seljuk, who just puts it out in front of Casper Hallam, but Lee Mackey well off his line. Shuts it down and kept it in play too. Nicely crafted there from Mackey. Samet. Gates. This one picks up a fair bit of speed off the deck there. Made it very tough for the American, and in the end, over the line. Here's the Mordhog Morton. He's one of the best players on the pitch in the first half. Scored a superb goal. Dowse worked off it by Berezanski, or Twos rather. Kibler, pressured by McEwen, but felt his presence and knocked it back to Reed, a youngster who I'm sure the Lions would have liked to test a little bit more. Coming in place of Mark Moncour in the South Hobart net today. It's been about as far from a baptism of fire as you could possibly get so far. Very lazy Sunday afternoon for him. Twos. Back to Kemp. Strokes it across to Hallam. Now like a Seljack. Danny Cohen across to deal with him. Like a Seljack back to Kobe Kemp. And Kemp bending it in, looking for Morton. The flag is raised. So it wouldn't have counted anyway. The flag of Stratos Pomeridis immediately raised after Kemp had played that one forward. Nick Morton looked to the heavens, which sure, thankfully from the players' perspective, have closed up just for the time being. For a fair bit of rain struck KG5 during that half-time break. It was teeming down. It's the fourth and final game of round 5 in the NPL Tasmania. Yesterday, Glenorchy Knights with a 2-0 win on the road to Riverside. Devonport left it late, but got the job done against the Clarence Zebras, winning 2-0. Whilst Olympia registered their second victory in a row, accounting for Launceston City 2-1 at Warrior Park, which sets the stage for a delicious little Devonport v Glenorchy Knights duel up at Valley Road next Saturday. That's going to be a cracker. Looking like it'll be the top two on the table meeting there as Morton chips this one and Lacka Seljuk won't be able to track it down in time. That's going to be a corker of a game at Valley Road. Very important in shaping the title race. Looks like the Lions are unlikely to jump back ahead of Glenorchy Knights once they can find miraculous turnaround here. Here's Kemp. Larby. Larby looks to burn off Dowse. And Danny Cohen cleverly playing it straight back off him. Gets it moving quickly. Vivarelli. Little chip in the middle to Davis Bryan, who sweeps out in front of Track. Lovely ball that from Ryan. Track, he's got two in the middle to pick out. He just showed too much of it to Kibler. And the moment passes. Track just needed to get that ball in. And the Kewen and Gates lining up in the middle for him. Dowse wanted handball and was able to get it. Lacka Seljuk, fair to say, not thrilled with that decision. A look of disdain. Presents an opportunity for Chris Downs to get to work. The most dangerous set-piece team in the competition, the Lions, through the opening month of the season. And Chris Downs, a very large part of that. What can he produce here? He stands one up, looking for Davis Bryan. Reed comes out and collects. The young keeper passes the test there. Got such a short stature, there's always going to be question marks over the aerial work, but passes that one with flying colours there. Hallam up against Samet, who just boxed him out. Samet for Davis Bryan. Straight into the back of the referee Copra, and of course that rule change means it'll be a Lions ball now rather than just the play on. Obviously always a lot talked about with constant tinkering and changes to the rules of the game, but that is a change very much for the better, I think, that one. Just takes out that random element that can often lead to promising attack being broken up by a referee, or hate to see a goal scored when one team's flooding one direction and the ball randomly changes course to hit the ref. So a good change that one, I reckon. As Reed comes out to sweep this one away. Twos did well to compete up against a much bigger Luke Biggin there. Biggin works it out to Dowse. That's surely handball on Berezanski. Dowse absolutely shanks that one horribly. Fair to say, not his best work there, Keenan Dowse. Usually pretty good with those long balls, but one more of a threat to the crowd than South Hobart. Oh, now Biggin with a fairly agricultural swing and completely missed it. Berezanski, Morton, dancing on the ball, the Morthog. Down Berezanski and another shank clearance. This one fell straight to Morton. And the Lions just fluffing their lines here at the moment. That's three absolute shanks in the space of about 30 seconds. And it's all rather unravelling for them here at KG5 at the moment. And they seem to be well and truly heading towards the first defeat of the season. 3 wins and a draw in the first 4, but this one not going so well. Dangerous ball in and headed home by Kobe Kemp. Beautiful ball, lovely glancing header from Kemp. And South Hobart have a 4-0 lead on the hour mark. That's well and truly game over. No one tracking the run. And a brilliant piece of work from Kemp to head it home. And that is 4-0. And that is almost certainly the ball game. And it looks like that rather divine looking mullet of Riley Morton's about to be introduced. That is exceptional work. And on he comes to replace Declan Foley, like for like there in the middle of South Hobart's defence, you'd imagine. Centre back for centre back. As the physical powerhouse that is Foley heads to the bench. And young Riley Morton, who started the season as the centre back, will slide on in alongside Kibler. Wonderful set piece that was. It was really well hit, and Kobe Kemp just attacked the ball magnificently. And after a frustrating couple of weeks for South Hobart, the goals starting to flood back. Certainly weren't going to make it 3 defeats in a row. Here's Kemp. Switches it. Berezanski to Kemp. Kemp slides it looking for Hallam, but just a little bit too much on that one for him. Davis Bryan smashed away by Samet. A bit of a reality check this one for the high-flying Lions. South Hobart snap back into life. Well, can the Lions pounce on a counter-attack here with everyone flooding forward for South? They might be caught a little short at the back. Here's Gates. Up against Morton, swings the cross in, but steered away by Kibler. Cowan and Twos, sliding in. Twos did really well. Hallam, he's got Berezanski in the middle. That's where he heads. Douse tracking him well. Has some support with him. Slides back to the outside for Twos. Just held up by Bryan. Hallam. And then Biggin came across. The Lions defence did pretty well to deal with that rather threatening moment there. South were looking like making it 5. Mackie to Douse, who was key in just halting that attack moments ago. Sits Kenneth Trask with Track a task. Couldn't quite get on the end of it there, the winger. Here's Cody Kemp, raking ball, lovely stuff. Couldn't quite control it, Casper Hallam. You can see the way South want to play. They want to get in behind in wide areas with their speedy attackers. Hallam, Berezanski, Twos. All very capable of getting in behind. Lions defence is not really built for speed. Strong in the air, good physical players, Biggin and Cowan, but you wouldn't be backing them necessarily in foot races as Keenan Douse looks to get in behind at the other end. Very good two-way player for Kingborough. It's been such a consistent performer from them. Scores goals, defends well, everything you want in a fullback. He's ascended to the captaincy of the Lions this year, which is a testament to his the leadership intangibles he brings as well. Just a competitive animal, Keenan Douse. Does not like losing. Certainly would not be enjoying this at the moment. It was blasted away. Ewan Larby clearing the area on that occasion. Samet curls it in. Bryan chests it down for Track, but the offside flag had been raised once again. Not really sure who the flag was raised on there. Lions players didn't appear to be in an offside spot. Don't have the greatest angle from my vantage point, mind you. There's the mullet of Morton. Looking for Kemp, but just gifted it a little easily there. Here's Davis Bryan. Fakes the shot and then gets one away on the left, but it's straight down Nathan Reed's throat. Easy pickings there for the keeper. But shots have been pretty hard to come by for Kingborough today. They haven't got too many of them off. Kemp, broken up by Dowse. Maybe Kemp's really taken over this game in midfield in the second half. Really dictating things from the middle. Gates to Downs. Fairly aimless little chip ball there. Easily broken up by Morton, who now will look to spring an attack. Working in very tight areas there was Hallam and wins the throw in. Twos. And Kemp. There's a little push there from Jack Gates on Toby Havinen, the two former teammates there. Havinen made his breakthrough in the NPL down at the den, and Gates getting right up in his grill there. Love the microphone on that side of the pitch, to hear what he might have been saying there. The shirt from Gates on Havinen. Perhaps. Cowan and Biggin scrapping away. Fell out the back where Hallam led the foot race, but Lee Mackey able to sweep across, and Salmon unable to control it, and South will take back over. Kibler launches the diagonal, looking to spring Berezanski in behind. Just unable to track that one down. Out for the goal kick. But you can see the way South Hobart like to attack. There's diagonal balls to their rather pacey wingers in behind. I think we'll be a little disappointed by the showing today, but perhaps not the most unexpected result. South Hobart might have lost their last couple, but performed pretty admirably up against Devonport last week at Valley Road. In the Knights game, they created chances in that one. The Knights are firing on all cylinders at the moment. As Kenneth Track does really well just to get the better of his marker there. It's a bit of another one. His teammate in the middle just lost his footing there, McEwen, but gets back up, gets on it, chipped over the top by Bryan, looking for Track. And get a shot away, he can't, because Kibler was there to stick a boot in. Lucky Seljack and Bryan, and that's going to be brought to a halt because the Warthog is down on the deck clutching his head. So with the head injury, play not allowed to continue there, and you'll get some treatment from Matty Lancaster there. Bring a brief pause to the game here at KG5. The Warthog back on his feet, which is good to see. Doesn't seem to be suffering any ill effects. South Hobart hitting the road north next week. They travel up to Windsor Park to take on Riverside Olympic. Kingborough Lions will head over to Warrior Park to take on the Olympia Warriors. So a double change about to be pulled here by South Hobart. It looks like Gilly de Souza set to make his return to the NPL Tasmania. Joshua Diven, the other man down there. Looks like the youngsters in attack in twos and Hallam will be replaced. Another lively showing from Casper Hallam on his return from injury. They're a much more dangerous side with Casper Hallam in the mix, that's for sure. Really breaking out to one of the stars of the competition, the youngster, after bursting onto the scene so spectacularly off the bench. He's now very much an important starting 11 player for the South Hobart team this year. Kemp drifting in ahead of McEwen. Downs across for Gates. Here's Gilly de Sousa's first touch on the ball, and he's returned to Tasmanian football. It's a pretty damn good one too. Slid it through, looking to spring his fellow substitute Diven. And I'm not really sure how the Lions have ended up with that one. So throw in taken. Punched forward by Brian to Track. Track swings it into the open spaces. Dowsey's bursting to get there. He ran a lung-busting run, but unfortunately he just couldn't track it down in time. And all for naught. Now he's got to scramble to get back. Tireless work down this right flank is like a Seljack, I thought, in fringe big in there, able to get away with it, and then plays a clever little reverse ball for Berezanski. He's got Diven at the back post, but Cowan shuts down the cross, and behind it goes for a corner. Lovely little ball in behind from Bradley Lakaseljic. So they scored from their previous corner. We'll see if Berezanski can pick someone out on this occasion. Swings it in near post. Flicked on Morton. Back for Lakaseljic, but he let in Kenneth Track. Wins it off him, then sends it through, and a chance for Jack Gates. He's one-on-one with Toby Havainen. He's got McEwen and Akers in the middle. Gates going himself here. McEwen peels back, and he went the shot. So a deft little chip, and I think Sunday McEwen was the option there. He made a clever little run, had McEwen had just peeled into some space. And Gates a little goal hungry there, trying the chip from the impossible angle. Would have been a fair highlight reel goal, but in the end, it remains 4-0. It's one of the Lions' better attacking moments of the game now, coming on the counter-attack. Lakaseljic's growing into this one. Couldn't produce anything there. Douse just tried to knock it through Larby there, who was aware of his intent and shut that down. Long ball over the top. South Hobart repel that. Now Biggin rises over Lakaseljic. Track can't get in behind Larby. Biggin. Track. Vivarelli. Berezanski. That one for Mackie, and again just holding up in that very stiff breeze. It's always going to make a comeback pretty improbable. The conditions here at KG5, those 2 goals at the end of the first half, a real dagger to the Lions. Instead of going to the sheds, locked up 0-0. They were chasing a 2-goal deficit. And they're not really equipped for that style of game. A tough team when they're able to get a lead, or if the other team's making the play, having to break them down. Not too often they're going to be scoring multiple goals and chasing down deficits, I don't think, the Lions. Biggin Back to Kibler, now Kemp. Sophie Havainen. Able to carry it forward and then shifts it outside for Diven. Diven's cross behind Danny Cowan for the corner. Seventh corner of the day coming up for South. Again, Berezanski to take. He swings it in. Downs, getting a piece of that. Tracks, head up. Put Davis Bryant under some pressure. Douse trying to hook it clear, but hooked it straight into Morton. Here's the Brazilian De Souza. Larby. Well, not sure if that was a poorly overhit cross or a wildly ambitious effort. Either way, no real threat to Lee Mackey. He's able to get that one as he smashes this one along. McEwen rises, heads it down. Kemp. Across to Havainen. Now Kemp. Back to Morton. To Souza. Danny Cowan. Shipping it over the top. Track will give chase, but Larby always leading that race. Turning into a little bit of trouble. Douse. Trying to get the better of Diven. Not quite able to do so. Looks like the Lions looking to their bench. Jack Martin set to come on. Final quarter of an hour here, KG5, South Hobart firmly in command as the Lions searching for what would probably just be a consolation marker at this point. Morton, skipping free is the Morthog, and they've got numbers here in attack South Hobart. This is promising. The Morthog into the area and want to get onto the right. He does just that, and in the end, a fairly tepid shot. Did all the hard work. Would have been a stunning solo goal there from Morton, taking it from halfway. A fairly underwhelming hit in the end. Did all the hard work. Bought the space for the shot and just didn't catch it cleanly. A pretty dominant showing here today from South Hobart. So they established themselves. Perhaps put to bed suggestions that maybe the Lions were the team rather than them to challenge in the title race. To my eye, it's going to be the Knights and the Strikers duking it out in this shortened 14-round season. And next week's game at Valley Road is the highest importance, especially with the Knights having already dropped points to Kingborough early in the season. Devonport would have opened up a 6-point gap with a win. That could prove significant as the boys from the Fortress just continue to grind out the results. They haven't always been pretty, but they are just a relentless machine. They just seem to always get the result. As this one's bent in, and Copper has spotted something not to his liking there. Blows the free kick. And the Lions will now make that change and bring on Jack Martin. Yeah, looks like he's coming on for Luca Biggin. So a bit of a shuffle there from Jez Kemp perhaps. Looks like Vivarelli might have just dropped into defence. And Jack Martin with a very loud pair of wheels he's rocking there. Fluorescent yellow. Jack Gates up against De Souza. Favours his left side, and that's where he charges off, and he'll just bend the cross in, but blocked off there by a duo of South Hobart defenders. Vine and Morton both across to deal with it. corner opportunity for Downs. The sting starting to go out of this one a bit. So we tick towards full time. And result well and truly beyond doubt at this point. Just the final score yet to be determined. The Lions would really love to pull one back. Chris Downs. Dangerous ball, put Reed under pressure. Got a fist to it and then cleared away by Larby. Gates to Sousa. The big up and under. That'll come down with snow on it. Berezanski tried to control it. Pretty tough one, had so much elevation on it. He wins it back off Taus here though. And infringed in doing so. South Hobart players a bit miffed by that decision, I think. Again, we'll present Downs with the set piece opportunity. Punched in, keeper gets a fist to it, Gates brings it down, but Morton there to do the defending. And just got a grab there. And the relieving free kick paid. Havinen down the line, like a Seljuk surely offside. Flag immediately raised on him. Danny Cohen punches that one low, straight to Salmon. Vivarelli. Straight out of play, and just hasn't clicked for the Kingborough Lions today. I really think they really would have preferred this game had it remained at Darcy Street. I don't think this KG5 pitch really suits their strengths. That's a foul. An easy one for Brenton Copper to spot. So Chris Downs over the dead ball. And launching it long into the box. Danny Cohen there over his head. Steered away. As far as Douse. Well read by Larby. Couldn't quite keep it in play. South Hobart fullback. Douse taking it quickly. Cohen still working hard here, the Lions, and then take your pick, either the foul or the punch on the ball. Both infringements by Danny Cohen there. South Hobart will jump up to fourth on the table after this result. They'll still be a point behind Kingborough after 5 games completed. The Strikers leading all comers, 5 wins from 5 games, on top on 15 points. And the Knights will be second with 4 wins and 12 points. And those two teams set to meet next week. Kingborough will remain in third on 10. And then South Hobart on 9 from Olympia on 6. So a little bit of a gap. Just a little one opening up to the top 2 in the comp after 5 weeks. Just past a third of this shortened season that we've got, the 14-round competition, which obviously hoisted upon us by the pandemic, but personally I quite like the short 14 weeks in terms of competitive balance, everyone actually having one proper home and away game. So there's 2 home games against some teams and 1 against others that the 21-game season leads to. It's a more equitable fixture, which I like, and a real heightened importance on every game. If you slip up, a lot less time to recover from it. As the Lions through Jack Gates down the left here, trying to find that consolation goal. They're still working hard to their credit. They haven't given up the ghost in this one. They're pushing hard, still really charging up and down the flanks, trying to make something happen, but it's just not come off for them today. South Hobart have really been in complete control since they hit the lead in this one. And they might yet find time for a fifth. Berezanski for Toby Havainen. Takes it inside, then got clipped from behind by Gates. Impressive Kibler. Just looked defender for South Hobart, the American, is Kobe Kemp. Not sure about that one, didn't look offside to my eye. It was Larby rather. Thought Danny Cohen was playing him on the middle, but apparently not. Long from Mackie. He's trying to make some inroads down the left here. Samet's charged on, and he, on the end of this one, slides it through. Again, easily dealt with by Kibler at the back. Downs lofts it in. McEwen! Put his head to it, beat the keeper. Couldn't quite get the direction on it. And goal kick only. Good ball in that from Chris Downs, right into a dangerous area. And McEwen just couldn't quite direct the header. He had Nathan Reed's beating in the air there. Nearly made it 4 in as many weeks for Sunday. Here's Havainen. Bringing it down is Diven. Berezanski. Berezanski with some room to shoot. Just over the top. Wasn't far away either there. A spectacular goal cutting inside. Samuel Berezanski took a nice touch. Lions defence not closing him down quickly enough. Nearly number 5. As that one's just slapped out of play by Samet. Morton. And Kemp back to Kibler. And Larby. A pretty sloppy ball in the end, straight out of play. Ryan still pushing for a late goal here. Is Ryan dispossessed by Kemp. Chips it for the run of the Warthog. He's still hungry. He still wants another goal. He gets this one before Douse. This is the man inside the decoy. Then floats a wonderful ball to Bradley Lakaseljac and volleys home. That's a superb goal from South Hobart. Made by Morton. Finished by Lakaseljac. 5-0. And that might just be the pick of the bunch. Lovely ball from Morton. He's run the show today. And Lakaseljac with a perfectly placed volley indeed. 5-0. A fairly emphatic victory this one for South Hobart. The Lions have simply had no answer today. And 5-0 as we tick towards the finish line here. A few people in the chat enjoying that one, I think, as the game ticks over 4.5 goals in total, just judging by the comments there. As the Lions will make a sub, Sunday McEwen being replaced by Vincent Turner. 5-0 the scoreline. Downs smashing that one out towards track. Berezanski. Kibler. Morton. Now Havainen. Good ball from Havainen. Found Diven, who's looked very tidy since coming on. Slides that one through. Did Morton stay on side? He didn't. You know, a really good performance from the Warthog today. And he's had that swagger about him, which is usually a sign things are going well. Really, and since he hit the back of the net, his tail's well and truly been up. And confidence really blossoming there from the Warthog Morton. Starring role in the middle of the park for his side. Samet cuts this one out. Gates. Gates again. He's got a few in the middle to pick out here, and he swings this one and just gets too much purchase on it. Never really gave either of his attackers there much of a play on it. Downs nods it into the middle. Ooh, Morton collected there. One of the substitute Martin. Now like a Selja, you've got Berezanski in all sorts of space in the middle here. And now he's got Morton. Just got stuck at the feet of Diven there for a moment. Allows the Lions defence to scramble back. Trying to avoid being hit for 6. They still might. Nick Morton was offside as his effort landed on the roof of the net regardless. Into stoppage time now. Pretty dominant victory this for South Hobart as they re-establish themselves after a pair of losses to the competition's top 2. And they're looking to win on the next couple and put themselves right back in the title race. Here's Kenneth Track. Downs. Turner. Trying to combine with Dowse who charged on. Turner again. That one blocked away by Kibler. Laka Seljak. Oh, Morton was just trying to loft it through there for Berezanski, and a very important block was made by Danny Cohen. Well, Berezanski bearing in on goal. Might have even been Diven. I think it was Diven, but Lions, Sabat, Cohen. Keenan Dowse hasn't stopped working. Track. He made Downs work for that. Vivarelli. Back heel from Brian. That was pretty slick to Dowse. Keenan Dowse still going. Shot charged down and a penalty blown. Brenton Copper pointing to the spot. And South Hobart will have Kingborough will have a chance to pull one back here late. And not sure if it was the foul on Dowse or whether it was a handball in the shot block attempt. Either way, don't have the benefit of the replay, so you guys can rewind that one over and have a look. But I think Keenan Dowse has just said, look, I'm the captain, I'll take this one. I've busted a gut up and down this right flank all day. See if he can get something for his efforts. So Keenan Dowse from the penalty spot to pull back a late consolation goal for the Lions. It's Dowse v Reid. And Reid denies him! Gets down and makes the save. Young Nathan Reid, well there you go, favoured in net over Moncourt today. Hasn't been called upon too often, but he pulls off the big penalty save and preserves his clean sheet at the death. Well, has he? Came out and blocked that one away from track and was fouled in the process. So there's a young man putting his body on the line, desperate to preserve that clean sheet, and he's done so. So well done, young man. And it remains 5-0. Big save from Nathan Reid. Imagine will keep his spot in net after that. Favoured over the veteran Moncourt today. Here's Kemp. And there is full time. KG5, a commanding performance from South Hobart. They struggled to break down the lines for the first 40 minutes, but struck twice in the closing moments of the first half. And from there, it really was all one-way traffic. They had 3 more in a dominant second half display and run out comfortable 5-0 victors. Their 3rd win of the season. A slide of 2 losses in a row. The Lions, well, they're forced to lick their wounds and they'll be on the comeback next week. For the first time this year, they have lost a game. They were unbeaten in the league and had a good win in the Lacquer Cup to start the season. We'll see how they bounce back next week against Olympia. But for myself, Andrew Cooling, here at KG5 today, it was South Hobart's day. A big 5-0 victory as they get their season back on track. Myself here, the My On Stream Slice of Cheese team. It's bye for now.